And the next email today comes to us from Daniel Mann, who writes, with the John Wick 3 trailer coming out, I saw a lot of people saying it has changed modern day action movies for good. However, it made me wonder, has it? I still see the big majority of action movies being released today as being okay movies, but I still find the majority to be filled with bad to mediocre action. So, has it really changed action movies for good? All right, thanks a lot for the email, Daniel. And yeah, we're all getting excited about John Wick Chapter 3. Of course, yesterday, the brand new trailer, the first trailer for John Wick Chapter 3 dropped, and it delivered. The trailer delivered. It's exciting stuff. But we've been hearing a lot of people talk about it, and you know what? I'll admit, this has probably come out of my mouth too. We hear a lot of people that talk about how John Wick has changed the action genre. John Wick has, changed, action movies today and blah, 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 blah. But you raise a great question in the email. Has it really? Has it? Because John Wick came out and it blew us away. Like a new type of action film made in North America. Just nutty. And the whole introduction of Gun Fu, which was incredible. Then they did John Wick Chapter 2, which I thought was a real worthy follow-up. I still think I prefer John Wick Chapter 1 a little bit better, but John Wick 2 was definitely a worthy follow-up and a worthy sequel to that first one, and has made us look at action films. Then you get movies like Atomic Blonde and whatever from the same directors. But the question is, has it really changed anything? And you know what? I don't think they have. I actually don't. Now that you mention, now that you put it like that, I got to stop and think about it. I go, you know what? I really don't think this changed anything. Because even if you look at an Atomic Blonde, right? Well, that was done by the same guys, or one of the same guys who did the John Wick movie, so it hasn't influenced anybody else. If you're going to say something has changed something, then you got to be able to demonstratively show how it has impacted other things around it. And you're right, when you look at other kind of action movies and movies that have a lot of action in it, you really don't see a John Wick style being adopted in any way, or to the degree and that level of action that we've seen in John Wick. And then when you talk about influence, well, how many people have even seen it? Because the reality is, as much as we talk about John Wick, not a lot of people have watched John Wick movies. I mean, this is a little shocking when you think about it. When we think about how much we talk about John Wick and all that kind of stuff. But John Wick, the first one, this isn't a domestic number, guys. This number is not opening weekend. This was worldwide total. John Wick made $88.7 million. Worldwide total. John Wick made $88.7 million. Now, John Wick 2, big improvement. Almost doubled its box office, but still, worldwide total, John Wick 2 made $171 million. Not opening weekend, not just domestically, worldwide. Its total box office take was $171 million. Now, what's interesting is, yesterday on one of my shows, somebody asked, I don't like when people say something was a good movie for that genre. And I try to explain, well, sometimes you got to evaluate a movie in its own context, and that's fine. So a lot of people will point out, hey, John Wick and John Wick 2 were not expensive movies to make. So those are really good finance numbers for movies that were so cheap. Yes, these are decent little results for a couple of movies that were very inexpensive to make. But if you want to take the asterisks out of it, is $88 million worldwide a great movie? A great result for a movie? Take the asterisks out of it. Depending on how much it costs to make, take that out of it for a second. Like if Captain Marvel comes out and makes $88 million worldwide, what are you all going to call it? You're going to call it an epic flop. If Shazam comes out and it makes $171 million worldwide, everybody's going to call it an epic flop. Certainly a disappointment. The reality is, the John Wick films, as much as we love them, there ain't a lot of us who have watched them in the grand scheme of things. So, can we say, when we haven't seen any demonstrative effect on other action movies from John Wick, and when they really not attracted a big audience in the overall big picture of things, can we really say that John Wick has changed the action movie genre in North America? And I would have been one of the guys the other day who would have said, yes, it has. But now that you really think about it, I guess no, it hasn't. And it should. And man, that John Wick trailer that dropped the other day, dudes. Oh my God, that John Wick trailer that dropped the other day was so much fun. That scene when the guys are all on their motorcycles chasing John Wick and like in unison, whoosh, they pull out the swords on motorcycles. Are you kidding me? I just about yelped. And I don't yelp when watching trailers. And I just about yelped. I thought that looked amazing. I cannot wait to see this movie. But for now, the John Wick franchise has not changed anything. And it should. So let's see if more people get influenced by John Wick and if more people go out and watch Chapter 3. We'll have to wait and see.